The geography of the Rocky Mountains explained. I don't really know too much about the Rocky Mountains, so I'm really interested to get into this video. Before we do, I appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button. Let's just straight into this and see what we got.
Rising from the interior plains of the United States and Canada, one of the largest mountain ranges in the world extends across the west of the North American continental shelf.
Oh, bro, that's massive. That is huge. What, and all this area is just full of mountains?
Covered in breathtaking mountains and valleys, which invite outdoor lovers to hike, climb, ski, and camp among the thousands of snow-covered peaks and vast glaciers. The Rocky Mountains,
yo, I've always wanted to go skiing, man. That'd be so cool to do.
Have countless stories to tell.
Okay, interesting.
To get to the bottom of them, in this video, we'll take a closer look at its geographical extent, what kind of secrets lay within the mountain range, and how it determines the fate of all water falling on the continent.
Okay.
To get a better understanding.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, the range is probably like, what, 5 times? Maybe, no, probably even more. Bigger than the UK. That's crazy, man.
Of the area we are talking about, we'll start with Chapter 1, Physical Geography of the Rocky Mountains.
Okay, let's go. Let's learn.
Rising from the harsh Arctic Ocean in the far south of the Americas begins the American Cordillera, the largest and longest interconnected mountain system in the world, containing the Andes of South America, the Central American ranges, and the Sierra Madres of Mexico. The American Cordillera slowly transitions into the Rocky Mountains.
Wait, why is that though? We'll probably get into this on this video, but why is like the whole left side of this place just full of mountains? That's so weird, isn't it?
Slowly transitions into the Rocky Mountains after entering the continuous United States in New Mexico. From there, a collection of over 100 smaller mountain ranges merges together into a dense network of summits and valleys. What we today call the Rocky Mountains. The definition of where the Rockies begin and end is often debated among geographers, and it primarily depends on which governmental body you ask.
Wait, I'm seeing loads of like other mountain ranges here. Why is this not included either?
One thing everybody can agree on is that the range starts north of the Pecos River in New Mexico, but the northern border is more ambiguous.
Okay.
Canada, for example, defines the northern end of their slice of the Rocky Mountains with the Liard River, while the US occasionally extends this line to the Alaskan Brook Mountains, which they designate as being part of the Arctic Rockies. In this video, we'll go with the Canadian definition, limiting the northern boundary to the Canadian provinces of Alberta and British Columbia.
Yo, I feel like if I ever moved to America, right, I would have to be on the West Coast. Actually, let me know which coast you guys are on, or whereabouts in America you guys are from. But I just love mountains, bro. I'd love to live in a house where like you just like look out and you see mountains in the distance, you know what I mean? That'd be beautiful, bro. Like obviously there'll be mountains here, but not as much.
To the Canadian provinces of Alberta and British Columbia. In BC, a slipping fault line has created a deep valley called the Rocky Mountain Trench, which narrows the Rocky Mountains to its thinnest width, only spanning around 100 kilometers or 60 miles from east to west. Upon entering the US state of Idaho and Montana, the elevated region widens to its farthest extent, spanning almost 600 kilometers or 370 miles across Wyoming and Utah, before narrowing again in Colorado and New Mexico. The whole eastern flank of the Rockies is bordered by the interior plains of Canada and the US, from where the mountains immediately reach their highest peaks in the south. Compared to the valleys and
Mount
the plateau,
Albert,
the Rocky Mountain peaks typically rise over 2,000 meters or 6,500 feet above the surrounding landscape.
Yo, I want to see like IRL pictures of the Rocky Mountains, dude.
With the highest peaks touching the 4,400 meter or 14,400 feet.
Oh, wow.
Mark. Across the whole 4,800 kilometer or 3,000 mile long north-south extent.
Bro, wait, how long is the UK? I think it's like 800 miles. So yeah, 4 or 5 times more. 4 times. Yo. Bro, that's crazy, bro.
The mountains share many similarities in geological features, being prime destinations for mountaineering and outdoor retreats. Yet the main sections all have their unique features as well.
Okay.
Bringing us to Chapter 2, Inside the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, yeah, let's get to this part.
The Canadian Rockies, between the Canadian Prairie and the Rocky Mountain Trench, are the birthplace of many of Canada's greatest rivers, with the Columbia, Fraser, North Saskatchewan, Athabascan, and Bow River, all originating in this relatively thin strip of mountains. The Canadian Rockies are covered...
Wait, you know with these rivers, right? They form from here because the snow at the top of the mountain melts and then provides the water for the river, right? Correct? How is there that much snow? And you know, with like, I've seen like mountains before where they've got waterfalls that's just constantly happening and it's from the snow. But I'm like, yo, how is there that much snow to produce that much water to create, you know what I'm saying? Bro, it's crazy to think about.
All originating in this relatively thin strip of mountains. The Canadian Rockies are covered in 5 national parks, which through the resort town of Banff constitute one of Canada's most popular tourist destinations. 4 million tourists visit Banff and its adjoining national park annually, enjoying the pristine mountains, rivers, glaciers, and lakes for various...
Yo, you know what? I see why people visit this. This is pretty, right? This is stunning. This would be very fun. And this is just something else. This is just not even real. This just don't even look real. Wow.
Outdoor activities, from skiing to hiking,
Be
all
so
year
fun.
round. These mountains are particularly known to have a lot of dry snow, which is perfect for powder skiing.
Okay.
Across the border to the United States, we enter an even more famous nature spectacle with the oldest national park in the world. Yellowstone, which sits right in the heart of the Rocky Mountains, has fascinated hikers and explorers since the dawn of humans on the continent. But it wasn't always meant to be a national park. If it weren't for a group of dedicated nature-loving men in the 1860s and 70s, this region and many other pristine natures may have looked completely different today. To learn more about the intricate story of its creation, which set the foundation for all other national parks in the world, you should check out my other video exploring exactly that, which I made a couple of years ago.
You know what? I do want to check out a bit more on Yellowstone. Because I know Yellowstone's got that massive volcano, but that's all I know about. I haven't really seen too much about it. Have any of you guys been to Yellowstone? Is it worth me looking at some videos on it?
It will be linked in the description below and at the end of this video. The park as a whole is characterized by its volcanic origin, with a massive magma plume under the continental shelf, which is currently filling up an enormous magma chamber. According to the US Geological Survey, this chamber has emptied itself 3 times in the past 2 million years, at intervals between 800 and 660,000 years, considering that the last eruption was 640,000 years.
Oh, wow.
Some are afraid that the next one is overdue, but the US...
Wait. And bro, listen. There's a pattern, bro. It's going down in years. 800, 660. But then again, even though it is close, it could, and most likely is still going to be 1,000 or 2,000 years, right? So, yeah, it might be a while from now, but on this time scale, bro, it could be any time. That's scary, man. Wouldn't we know if it's about to happen, though?
1,000 years ago. Some are afraid that the next one is overdue.
Oh,
but
wow.
the USGS sees no reason to worry.
Okay.
Firstly, a series of 3 entries is not sufficient to make any prediction.
Yo, how is this real? How, bro, like, look at this. How is, like, I'm seeing orange. I'm seeing, like, a greeny blue, a blue. Bro, this is just, I need to see this in person. This is so cool.
Make any predictions. Further, the scientists expect minor hydrothermal eruptions to occur as a precursor of Yellowstone's next big lava eruption.
Okay.
And these haven't occurred yet. And just to clarify, with minor hydrothermal eruptions, the scientists mean explosion craters with a diameter of half a mile. So the water fountain of the Old Faithful does not count. The fear-inducing mantle plume, responsible for the large caldera, is also responsible for a whole array of other volcanic features that make Yellowstone so popular. Over 10,000 such features, ranging from geysers and mudpots to hot springs, can be found in the region in and around Yellowstone. Compared to the rest of the world, this includes a staggering 62% of all such features currently discovered globally.
Wait, what's that? Shift and geothermal features around the world. Rest of the world, Yellowstone. Wait, what does that mean? Hold on.
Compared to the rest of the world, this includes a staggering 62 features, volcanic features, that make Yellowstone so popular. Over 10,000 such features, ranging from geysers and mudpots to hot springs, can be found in the region in and around Yellowstone.
Alright, so does that mean just like these kind of things that are popping out, Yellowstone is holding 60%? Like they have 60% of the whole entire world's like volcano features? Okay, very interesting. And that's why it's so popular to visit, because it's like active, you know what I mean? Interesting.
Compared to the rest of the world, this includes a staggering 62% of all such features currently discovered globally. Continuing the Rocky Mountains further south, we enter the states of Colorado and Utah, which encompass the most elevated region of this journey.
Yo, Colorado is just full of mountains, dude. Look at this. Look at this. Do you reckon people are living in these parts here?
Here, a total of 53 peaks with a height of over 4,200 meters, or 14,000 feet, can be found.
Oh, wow.
More than in any other US state. This list of mountains is called the 14ers, and is often taken up as a challenge by mountaineers to summit all of them, similar to the 7 Summit Challenge of climbing the tallest peak of each continent.
Wait, hold on.
This is a cool challenge of climbing the tallest peak of each continent.
Oh, it goes so quick. I've heard of Denial. Never heard of a Aconcagua. I definitely butchered that. Never heard of Elbrus. Obviously, I've heard of Mount Everest. And my dad's actually climbed Kilimanjaro. Interesting.
The highest density of tall mountains and generally elevated land actually makes Colorado the state with the highest average elevation across the United States.
Oh, wow.
Despite almost 50% of the state being covered in the interior plains without any significant topographical features. Looking back north from New Mexico to the northern border of British Columbia, the whole length of the Rocky Mountains covers some of the most exciting nature of the American continent.
Yo, I'm just thinking of Colorado, bro. Let me know if you're from Colorado. I bet it's beautiful being surrounded by that many mountains. Oh, I bet it is. Yo, send me pictures on Instagram. Being
a go-to place for outdoor and winter sports enthusiasts. Next to these groups of people, it is also a very interesting place for the study of hydrology, bringing us to Chapter 3, the Continental Divide and its peculiarities. Any raindrop falling anywhere on any of the American continents will eventually either drain into the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean. Which of these oceans it will be depends on which side of this invisible line the raindrop falls on. Stretching from the most southern tip of Tierra del Fuego all the way up to the Seaward Peninsula in Alaska, a continuous line called the Continental Divide of the Americas separates the continent into 2 base camps. This line typically connects the tallest peaks of the continent, which within the continental US and Canada means it goes right through the heart of the Rocky Mountains.
Interesting.
Like with anything in the world, however, the exceptions prove the rule, and exceptions there are a few. Firstly, there are several basins spread around the continent, where water is enclosed by mountain ranges and trapped until it's evaporated, leading to many of the salt flats in Utah and Bolivia. These endorheic basins are by...
Wait, how do the salt flats happen? Is that from water being trapped?
Firstly, there are several basins spread around the continent, where water is enclosed by mountain ranges and trapped until it's evaporated, leading to many of the salt flats in Utah and Bolivia.
Yo, these are funky, bro. Is this water that's trapped? But how does it look like this?
These endorheic basins are by far not the most uncommon thing, though, since about 20% of all continental areas do not drain into an ocean. More peculiar are the Isa Lake in the Yellowstone National Park and the Comedy's Punch Bowl, a small mountain lake on the border between Alberta and BC, which during overflooding have outlets on both sides of the Continental Divide, meaning the same lake drains into both oceans. The biggest exception to this rule, however, and
wait, bro, this is a whole lake? Wait, what lake is... Wait, what's the longest lake in America, bro? Bro, this lake's massive, dude.
The only river in the world that spreads its flow almost equally into 2 of the world's oceans is the North 2 Ocean Creek. In the Teton Wilderness on the western side of the Continental Divide, the creek flows through a narrow gorge, slowly approaching a perpendicular valley. The gorge's topography closes in on the imaginary Continental Divide line, and just as the waters are close enough, one particular rock outcrop exactly on the Continental Divide perfectly splits the stream into 2. If a water droplet happens to be towards the...
Wait, what would happen if you removed the rock, though? What would happen? Would it just freak out? But it...
perfectly splits the stream into two.
No way.
If a water droplet happens to be towards the western side of the creek, it will be guided through the Snake and Columbia rivers into the Pacific Ocean.
That's so interesting.
Whereas the eastern side of the narrow creek is a tributary to the Yellowstone River, which drains into the Missouri River and finally merges with the Mississippi River to reach the Gulf of Mexico and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. This pass also allows fish species from one half of the continental divide to migrate to the other half, which before its discovery has puzzled scientists for decades. For some reason, Yellowstone Lake hosted a specific trout species, identical to one...
Yo, I bet there's so many fish wars, bro, that happen. I bet there's so many fish wars that happen, bro. You got the fishers from down here. They don't know the fishers up here, you know what I'm saying? And they're traveling, end up in a different territory. They're like, yo, what are these fish doing? You know what I mean? Stop firing.
This pass also allows fish species from one half of the continental divide to migrate to the other half.
Interesting.
Which before its discovery has puzzled scientists for decades. For some reason, Yellowstone Lake hosted a specific trout species, identical to one otherwise only found in the upper tributaries of the Snake River. The journey across the North to Ocean Pass is still found to be a complicated and unlikely endeavor, but the inclusion of occasional floods from the end of the last ice age finally shed light on the mystery. This quirk finishes up our journey across the Rocky Mountains, and I hope you learned something new about the most spectacular mountain range of North America.
I want to try and find a video on where they show actual images of Rocky Mountains so you can see how beautiful it is. I just love checking them out, I ain't gonna lie. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys got any pictures of being in a part of the Rocky Mountains, send them to me on Instagram, L3WG_. Would really love to check them out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.